Guys, I am going to be posting today some hamstring stretches. So for anyone with some tight hamstrings, we're going to do first some seated hamstring stretches and then maybe some inversion hamstring stretches and standing as well. So first we'll go ahead and come down onto the floor so that we're ready to do our first forward fold, seated forward fold to get into those hamstrings. So it's just the regular one that you're used to. It's called Paschimottanasana in yoga. And we basically just bring your legs in front of you. This is called Dandasana, the staff pose. And then you can kind of shimmy your hips back. So you're just kind of creating an anterior tilt with your pelvis, as you can see. So what we'll do to first start out with is just kind of put our hands behind our back and pull your elbows back. And then start to come down, but the second that you find that your elbows start to pull forward, that's gonna be your sweet spot, your little edge. So when that happens, just go ahead and lower the hands down and then start to tuck your chin and just kind of round the spine and just kind of come to a relaxed forward fold. You don't care what your hands are doing at all. You're not reaching for anything. You're just relaxing here, just to kind of let the hamstrings know that you're going to be doing some work with them. Of course, in a perfect world, you will have done the warm-up first, but we'll just get the hamstrings going. We just hold it for about 30 seconds. See if you can release the spine. The more you let your head dangle with gravity, the more you're going to be releasing the ligaments down the spine. So feel what it's doing to the lower back. Perfect. And now we'll slowly walk our hands back up, getting that nice straight spine again. Now this time we're going to see again if we can lead with the chest as we walk down. Keep that nice strong straight spine. Again, shimmy those hips back if it feels like it'll help. That's what's pulling the hamstrings back. It's pulling the origin of the hamstrings back. So we'll see if we can bring belly button down to tops of thigh. So here maybe we'll just reach just a little bit. So wherever your hands land, maybe on your shins or down towards your ankles, maybe even at the toes. And see if you can use some of your upper body strength to kind of pull yourself a little bit into it. Now, of course, if you have like a scarf or a belt or any kind of strap, you can place it around the arch of your foot and use your upper extremities to kind of get that extra little force to pull down. So here we're just getting a little deeper into the hamstring this time. And this time our gaze is going to be towards our big toe. In yoga, that's your drishti, your gaze, towards the big toe. It's just more kind of trying to make that long spine. So then when you've had a few breaths here, we'll slowly start to walk ourselves back up again. And just to wring ourselves out, we'll come into a reverse tabletop. So you can bend at the knees and your feet and lift yourself up. It's called hinge into the reverse tabletop. So just kind of release the lower back a little bit. And then we'll come back down, maybe even do a couple windshield wipers, just kind of release yourself. Perfect. Now we'll go into our single leg seated forward fold. And it's a little series that's going to open up your hamstrings, and hopefully you'll see a big difference from the start to the end. So I'm not going to mirror you, I'm just going to use my right and left. So we'll bring our right knee in towards our chest and gently let the right knee flare out into a half butterfly so that the right sole of the foot is on the inside of that left leg. So here again, we start off just passive stretch for like 30 seconds or so. So get yourself comfy. And then once again, we start to bring the hands behind the head, start to lead with the chest as you come down. You want to keep the integrity of the spine. The second the elbows start to come through or you feel to come forward or you feel a bend at the waist, you want to stop there and just relax the hands down. Wherever they land, you're completely relaxed in the hands, and then tuck the chin and let gravity pull your forehead down towards your leg. So we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Again, you're not striving here, you're just letting it be. There might be, obviously mild sensations down the hamstring and even down the lower back. Notice those sensations, and then you'll be able to kind of know what your body is needing. Perfect. So we'll finish up a last breath here. Now, we're going to bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot and start to walk your hands out to like a 45-degree angle. So it's cutting that 45-degree angle between the two legs. So you're just cutting it in half. Fingers come forward. You can tuck the chin and just kind of inch the fingers forward as they'll want to go. Again, you can see if you can straighten your outstretched leg, your left leg, bringing the bottom of your knee down towards the mat. So we're just getting into the leg here. We're just taking a few breaths. They say that the best way to gain flexibility is either mild stretches for a long time, like more than 30 seconds, or you can actually engage the antagonist muscle. So in this case, we're stretching our hamstring, so the antagonist muscle is the quadricep. So if you lift your kneecap and engage the quadricep, you might actually get a little deeper into the stretch. So go ahead and engage that quad, lift the kneecap, and pull the back of the knee down to the ground. Now, we're going to close off that angle. So we're going to walk our hands to the left, a little more inwards towards your outstretched leg. So again, we're just trying to get length. We're trying to engage the quad and pull ourselves down. Nice slow breaths. Keep pulling that back of the knee down, engage the quad, and feel the stretch in the hamstring. Perfect. We'll take one last breath here, and then we're going to go back to straddle the leg and see, hopefully you will have noticed a big difference from the beginning. So here we go. Left hand goes on the outside of that outstretched left leg. This time we want to try to get our pelvis exactly over our outstretched leg. So here we are, and now we're going ahead and pulling deeper into our single-legged forward fold. Now here you can go ahead and strive. So wherever you land, you're just going to see if you can pull yourself just that tiny little bit more. Again, use that strap and pull on the strap to pull yourself down. You want to get that stretch. So just take one last few breaths here. It also helps to flex into the foot because it pulls away from the hamstrings again, just that little bit more. Last breath here. And nice and slowly, we'll go ahead and walk our hands in towards your torso, your pelvis, and we're slowly stacking the spine. Perfect. All right, you can lean back and slowly bring that knee to the midline and send the leg out. Nice job, shake that off. All right, we'll do the other side. So we'll come back up. We'll bend left knee into chest and let the left knee flare outwards, half butterfly. And here we go. Once again, we're not striving. We put our hands behind our back, pull the elbows back as you lead with the chest and chin and see how far you can come. Now again, the second that you start to feel that elbows pull forward or you start to feel like you're folding at the waist instead of hinging at the hips, you see the difference there? That is different. We want to hinge at the hips. The second you start to feel the bending at the waist, that's when you just drop the hands down and just relax the body. Again, we're not striving for anything. We are just relaxing with gravity. And the more you let your head drop down with gravity, the more you're going to be pulling that nice long stretch down the spine. Keep driving the back of the knee on the right side down towards the ground. All right, so we're going to move into the first little section. We'll move our hands towards the left to create that 45-degree angle in between the two legs. And we're inching the fingers forward and tucking the chin. Again, we pull left or right knee, back of the knee down towards the ground, and we're reaching forward. Flex into foot, engage quad. So you're nice and strong in the spine. Nice and strong in that right leg. All right, take a last breath here. And we're going to walk our hands over to the right now, just to the inside of that right leg. Still on the inside though. And we'll take 30 seconds here as well. So driving the back of right knee down towards the ground. engage that right quad, flex into the foot, pull the kneecap up and the bottom of the knee, the back of the knee down towards the ground. And strive for more. Every exhale, maybe you're able to give a little bit more, let go more. Perfect, we've got one last breath. And now we bring our right hand and to straddle the right foot, we see if we can bring the pelvis directly over your outstretched right foot. And now we go ahead and strive and pull into even deeper of a stretch than we had the first time. So relaxing deeply and pulling that bottom of the knee down, engaging the quad and kneecap, flexing into right foot. Again, if you've got that strap, or if you're holding on to the feet, you're just using the upper extremities to pull yourself a little bit deeper into the pose. Last breath. And slowly, slowly, we'll push the ground away as we stack the vertebra one at a time, lifting the head, leaning back, closing off that knee to the midline, sending leg out long, and then we can just shuffle the feet back and forth to just kind of reset everything. Perfect. If you want, you can go into that reverse plank or a reverse tabletop, pulling the spine up to get that little bit of a counter posture for the forward folding. So those are our seated hamstring stretches. So I'll show you a couple of inversion and maybe even using a chair as well. So that's what's next.